Hi, and welcome to the Wine Bar, where I bring you bar-inspired workouts as well as information about wine. Today we're going to be doing a full body, 15-ish minutes bar workout where we're going to be talking about Syrah. So I'm going to be using my 2 wine bottles as my weights. You can always use no weights or regular gym weights, whatever you would like. And let's get started. Like and subscribe, and also I will leave a link in the description to the BootyKicker, which always helps with my workouts. All right, let's begin. So we're going to warm up. So we're going to do a reach up overhead. Always hit that lemon branch, and then we're going to come down, come back up, reach really high, bring the arms down, and bring your arms up. Alright, so the next move is we're going to bring our legs and our feet about hip-width distance, and we're going to do some suitcase squats. So you always have to pretend like you have 2 suitcases that you're lifting up and down. And we're just warming up the glutes and our thighs and our core and everything all around. 3, 2, 1. And now I'm going to bring my legs a little bit wider. I'm going to reach over to the right side. And then come back through the center. I'm going to reach over to the left side. Reach back to the center. One more time. Reach over to the right. Really stretch out that side and those lats. And stretch over to the left. Woo! Just getting everything nice and warmed up. Alright, now I'm going to bring my feet a little bit wider, and I'm going to do a nice, easy forward fold. So you just come down to wherever is comfortable. We're trying to stretch out the back of our legs. I can actually grab my feet, and I'm just going to stretch out my back. I'm going to do a little back and forth with my legs, stretching out my back, letting everything hang loose. And then I'm going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. And let's start with some arms. All right, so I'm going to grab my bottles. I'm doing Syrah today. So, Syrah, one of the great varietals of wine, grown all over the place, like kind of everywhere in the world, but especially in cool climates, most notably in the Rhone Valley. That's where it's most famous from. So, okay, we're going to come into, let's just think. Okay, I'm going to keep my feet below my hips, and I'm going to bring my arms out, and then we're going to go, nothing is working today. Okay, so now we're going to bring the weights down to our side, and then up to our shoulders. I'm keeping my abs in tight, and I'm just bringing everything to shoulder width height. We don't want to go any higher than that, and we're just working our shoulder rotator, going up and down. Right, you want to make sure that we have nice strong shoulders. I'm not going to do the lower part because we're going to do legs in a little bit, so we're just raising to shoulder and down. I'm almost doing it like I'm using one of those bands, you know, that stretch with the handles, the exercise bands, and I'm lifting and lowering like I have the resistance with those bands. All right, so we're going to do 3, 2, and last one. Okay, so now we're going to bring the weights. We're going to bring them to almost like a little football kicker thing, and we're going to do in and out shoulder presses, right? So the little added weight of the bottles is going to really work the shoulder muscles, and we want to come out as far as our arms are comfortable, and then we bring them in. And my Syrah bottles today are, you know, like I have mentioned, I think wine bottles are about 2.5 pounds. So the high reps really get you. But we're going to be learning about Syrah today, so that it comes mostly from the Rhone Valley. It comes from all over the place, but that's where it's most well known. Also Washington, California, a little New Zealand, and in Australia they call it Shiraz. So it is the same grape, but they just have a different name for it for some reason. And it has a little bit different characteristics as well. Okay, so we're 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, I'm gonna give my shoulders a little break just for a second, roll them out, and I'm gonna bring them back up. And now we're gonna do little pulses in and then little pulses out. So we're just bringing the weights in, pulsing up and down, and then bringing them out, in with the wine bottles, and out. I'm just going to do this a few more times. All right. And I know you say Syrah, also from New Zealand. Who would have guessed? I know, but I actually used to work for a company, and we carried Syrah from Hawke's Bay, which is in the northern island of New Zealand. And if you smelled it, it smelled like you put your face into a bottle of white pepper. It was so peppery. Usually Syrah has notes of olives and sometimes very meaty, kind of like savory qualities to it, but this one was all pepper. It was really crazy. But so I don't always like the ones from the Rhone Valley. Those tend to be the most olivey, but you can find them with all different styles. And so that's kind of the fun thing about Syrah. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Ooh, shoulders are spicy. All right, so our last arm thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing half in bicep curls. Okay, so we're just coming down halfway and then coming up. I'm really trying to use the resistance of the bottles here, keeping my abs in tight. My feet are directly below my hips, right? So just nice bicep curls. Just bring them in and then out, in and then out. And I always think of Syrah goes really well with grilled meats. You know, it does tend to be a rich, kind of heavier wine. What they do to it to lighten it up a little bit is a lot of times people will add Viognier, which is they do, you know, 97% Syrah, and they add like a drop of Viognier, and that kind of gives a little more clarity to the wine. It lightens everything up a bit, and it kind of gives it a little bit more richness, which is interesting that they're adding white wine to a red to do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1. All right. Now we're done with those arms, so you can put your wine bottle down. All right. So now we're going to come over to our legs. So I'm going to come into a wide second position, and we're going to do a full range up and down. So I'm going to keep my arms out, and we're coming down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. Now make sure you keep your abs in tight, and you want your butt below your shoulders. So you want to have your butt sticking out. You want to keep it in a nice line. All right. So another thing about Syrah is in Washington, they make some really, really great Syrah in Washington State and also in California. And it's going to be really dependent on where it's grown, on how it tastes. So there's an area of the Rhone Valley called the Côte Rôtie, and that's a very, very famous spot for Syrah. But my favorite story with that is that we had a customer come into a store one time looking for, can you show me where the Côte Rôtie is? And I always thought that was really funny. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now we're going to stay down. I'm going to bring my hands into first position, and we're going to just do pulses. So we're just pulsing a little bit, right? We're just pulsing down. We're working our thighs and the top of our quads, right? And at least we're giving those shoulders a break. Mine were screaming after all that arm work. All right. And then after we're done with the pulses, we're just going to hold. So I'm going to give you a countdown, and then we're going to hold. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold down. You can do this. I know this is hard, but we can do hard things. And we're just doing this for a little while. So about 15 seconds left. And then we're going to move on to a different part of our legs. So just think about the nice sweet relief that your quads and your hamstrings are going to get after this. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come out of it. Good job. Yes. Does this work? seems so simple, but it's not easy. All right, so I'm gonna come over to my little booty kicker, so please come over to your couch or your chair or whatever you're using for balance, and we're gonna come and we're gonna do some calf raises, so we're gonna work our calves. So we're gonna come up and down. We're coming up and down, up and down. So we're just coming onto our toes. We're keeping everything straight. We're gonna come up on this one. We're gonna give ourselves a little balance challenge. And then we're gonna come down. I always like to do that just to see how my ankles are feeling today, right? And now we're gonna do half ups. So we're gonna do this really burns out your calf muscle. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now come halfway down and then back up. So we're just gonna do this. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit more about Syrah to distract you. Also, Syrah is really good for meats with the cream sauces. So even if you have like a nice grilled chicken with a rich sauce, like a marsala or anything with like a cream base to it, Syrah works really well because Syrah should have high acid to it if it's a well-made Syrah, and then it can cut through the sauce. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's just give the calf a stretch out for a second, because those are really tough on the calves. So I'm doing a little lunge, stretching out the calf, using my booty kicker as a little weight-bearing mechanism. All right, and we're gonna come into our last leg move, which is going to be, I'm coming into first position, and then I'm gonna come down into a plie, and then I'm gonna just come up and down. So we're just doing plie pulses. Plie up and down, sorry, not pulses. We'll do that in a second, right? So just up and down, like you're on a wall. You don't really want your back to go anywhere. Like you're sliding up and down a wall. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down, and now we're just doing little inch up and down, up and down, up and down. Then we get to come to the floor, so that's going to be really exciting. And then we're going to do a little bit of core work, and then you've gotten your 15-minute full body workout in. All right, so 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. We got about 10 seconds. I have a light hold on the bar. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Shake those legs out. Whew, not easy. You did such a good job. I'm so proud of you. And now we're going to come down onto the floor. So I'm going to come down onto my butt, and I'm going to take one of the wine bottles, and we're going to do some Russian twists. All right. So I have the wine bottle in both my hands. We come over to the side and then to the middle. So I have a straight back. I'm leaning back a little bit, not too much. And then I'm just making sure that I'm twisting with the weight, almost like it's like a big rainbow around my body, so that we get that nice oblique side work in. If you're feeling really spicy today, you could lift your legs off of the ground, right? You could do that, or just keep them on the ground. This is still working your obliques and doing a really good job. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now we get to put the wine bottle down, and we're going to come into some plank positions. So the first plank position we're going to do is I'm going to do them actually on my knees. Feel free to come to your full plank position, and we're going to do some push-ups. So we're just going to do a few of these. My elbow is not feeling great, so it's actually kind of rough for me. So we're going to just do 30 seconds of these and then move on from there, right? But we want to be like a moving plank while we do these, even if we're in our knee position, right? We've got about 15 seconds left, and you want to make sure that your arms are pulling back and your abs are in tight, like I always want to remind everyone, and I need to be reminded in workouts as well, right? And 3, 2, 1. All right, let's do a little stretch. And now we're going to come into a full plank. And we're going to do some mountain climbers with a plank finisher. So you just bring your knees to your chest, right, while you're still in a plank position. So we're just bringing our knees in, working our abs and this is really a whole body workout. But we're just getting a little bit, if you feel like you want a little bit more, you can go a little faster. You can go a little slower, whatever your body feels like today. Just make sure you're in a nice, solid plank position. And if this is too much, you can also just hold a plank, which we're going to do in about 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're just holding our plank. We're just doing a little finisher, getting our whole body working in the static hold. Abs are in tight, our butt is down, and our shoulders are out of our ears. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Thank you for joining me, guys. Let's do a quick cool down. So I'm going to be sitting on my shins, and then I'm going to bring my arms over my head. I'm going to bring them down, overhead with a deep breath, and then down. I'm going to bring my right arm across and stretch my shoulder. And then I'm going to bring my left arm across. And then I'm just going to take my arm above my head and bring the elbow to the center. And other side, other arm down behind our neck and grab our elbow. We're just stretching everything out. I really thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this a good workout. A little bit more about Syrah. If you've never tried Syrah before, please do. I always suggest getting a recommendation from a local wine shop that you trust. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.